Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another live this morning. And good to have you join us. And I'll wait for a few seconds here for people to say hello. And good to have you on, Terry and Jerry, Nativity. And Keith is on with us this morning, and good morning to you. Always good to have our regulars on. Evangeline, Darlene, and Diane, and Nick. Good to have you on this morning. Lisa, and Elsie, and Lorraine, Jules. Okay, Jerry. You know what we're talking about this morning? Hormones. And good morning, let me see if I can say that name. Doralee, John, Linda, Yalaun, Jeanette, Janelle, how are you guys? I got to go back up because I saw a name there that was sort of bothering me. Heather, Fekria, how are you? John, good to have you on. Okay, so I missed a few. Morris, good to have you on with us this morning. And I know I missed Nellie. How are you, Marina? Missed so many. Jean and Evelyn. Hey, big crowd on. Grace from Newfoundland and Jordan. Serena. Marie. I hate to miss people. And you know what? Somehow I can't go on like I used to. Go on afterwards and say hello to everybody. I don't know if that's a Facebook thing or Zohor, Sydney, and Rebecca, Serpa. Nice to have you with us. Okay, guess what we're talking about? Hormones today. Yeah, well, a survey came out and I always found it interesting. Men, you listen up. And the reason I'm saying that is because we don't go through this, okay? Men have a little bit maybe of an andropause, but nah. I mean, we don't get to comment too much. I'm going to give you some information this morning, lady. This is interesting. And these are the top 10 symptoms on a survey of menopausal, premenopausal symptoms. Now, let me just explain here that as you get older, estrogen comes down, progesterone comes down, normal. Okay? And medicine has this idea that they usually want to give you HRT, hormone replacement therapy. And I'm very concerned about that. And you know, because there's been enough years now that we've been able to study it. And let me just give you some stats. So be very careful, ladies, with hormone replacement therapy. I know many are on it, but I'm always concerned because they're usually hormone replacement therapy is horse's urine, okay? It increases breast cancer 26%, that's a lot, and breast cancer is out of control. 29% increase in coronary heart disease, and 41% increase in the risk of stroke. And so, I get it. You know, when you're suffering and you don't feel good, I get it. Okay, so let's go over the top 10 symptoms. Thousands of women were surveyed, and these are the top 10 symptoms. Now, you don't have to be fully menopausal to have this. You can have perimenopausal, premenopausal. And I've seen women with premenopausal symptoms, perimenopausal symptoms in their 20s. Because they're not called hormones for nothing. Hormones are all about balance. Balance. And ladies, you're connected much differently than a man, and the key is the ovaries, because the ovaries play a huge part in the thyroid gland. Huge part. See, men, we don't have that connection. We got a thyroid, but we don't got no ovaries. So estrogen and progesterone, and you know me, I've talked about estrogen for men too, but it's because estrogen is accumulating in their tissue and it's not good for men. And that happens when their testosterone is not high enough. And men become women. A lot of men over 50 years old have more women hormones than women do, than their wives have. So let's go over this survey. It said the number one symptom is hot flashes. Okay, and I'm going down in order that they come. Hot flashes, okay? And that's the number one symptom of menopause, according to a survey of thousands of women. Night sweats. How many women have suffered from night sweats? Hot flashes during the day. If you have symptoms of hot flashes, it's not just that estrogen is going down, it's in balance with progesterone. There's always estrogen, progesterone. They have to be equal from the day you ovulate, ladies, till the day you die. Even at 80 years old, I've had women literally have hot flashes. In their late 70s and 80s. No kidding. Okay? So, hot flashes, night sweats, restlessness is number 3. They don't feel good. They don't feel good. It messes up. Remember, it messes up. One of the things, now your thyroid is your orchestra leader of your hormones. The thyroid, it's a puppet. It's not really the thyroid. It comes up from the brain, the hypothalamus. But the thyroid has a lot to do with it. And your ovaries, if that secretion is not equal of estrogen and progesterone, these are the symptoms that take place. Third, restlessness. Hot flashes, night sweats, restlessness, moodiness. Now, men, stay out of it. You know, it's hormones. It's not that their personality is changing, it's hormones. It's an imbalance. It's no fun under the sun. Fourth was moodiness, depression. I had a lady commenting on our private Facebook group. I think it was there. I saw it the other day. She said, I lost my connection because number 6 is decreased libido. She said, I lost my connection between my heart and my privates. Like it's gone. It left. No libido. But that's not normal. It's not normal. It's an imbalance. It's an imbalance. Ladies, don't be hard on yourself. It's not you. It's inside you. It's those hormones. And we're going to talk about helping this, okay? But I just got to get this out. Decreased libido, number 6. Number 7, anxiety. Well, again, okay? So let's talk a metabolic storm, okay? And, you know, I've often have drawn a pyramid for women. Thyroid on the top. At the bottom, you have your ovaries. At the bottom of the triangle, the ovaries. Halfway up, you have your adrenals. the adrenal glands, secretion of cortisol. Everything needs to be in balance in there. When it gets out of balance, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does anxiety affect the estrogen, progesterone? Well, I'll tell you one thing. Here's what I know. You need progesterone to, your cortisol needs progesterone just to make cortisol. So if you're constantly dripping it, cortisol uptight, so it becomes a perfect metabolic storm. Anxiety, number 7. Forgetfulness, number 8. You're thinking you got early signs of dementia and all it is hormones. It's that imbalance. Forgetfulness. Stiff joints, isn't that interesting? Stiff joints was number 9 on the hit parade. As far as women, they just didn't feel good. And stiff joints were part of it. And number 10, food cravings. Cravings for food. Sugar, especially. Crappy carbs. And, you know, I often say this, but it's really true. Ladies, don't be hard on yourselves. Women are very, very hard on themselves. Always, you know, and I get it, trying to look good, and there's a lot of pressure on yourselves, right? Even in our society today, there's pressure being put, but a lot of times, you know, like, on the reset, and ladies are going, you know, my husband lost this much weight and I didn't lose it. And they're upset. I get it. I understand. But you can't put the cart before the horse. You got to get those hormones in balance. And this is why I aim at that triangle. You get everything in balance. Now, one of the things, in my opinion, okay, that you don't need, ladies, is estrogen. Estrogen is something you don't need. Your body makes lots of it. Estrogen accumulates in your tissue. You want to know, one of the reasons, ladies, you have trouble losing weight? Estrogen. You're too much of a woman. And I know there's a tendency to give estrogen because you understand thinking here of physicians. Well, you're getting older. You don't have as much estrogen as you used to. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But by giving estrogen doesn't help that. You're increasing the risk of breast cancer, and estrogen is at the root of it. It is a growth hormone. I'm always trying to keep estrogen down. Dim it out. Dim it out. So it's no fun under the sun. It isn't. And one of the major effects of this imbalance, it's not a symptom, but it's a condition, is osteoporosis. Why do women get osteoporosis? And men, it's 90 to 10. It's higher than that. It's 95 to 5. And doctors are concerned about calcium. And Fosamax, build bone density. Nah. It's building strength, ladies. It's building muscle. You want strong bones? You want strong bones? Not calcium. You need vitamin D, K2. Eat your butter and your cheese. for vitamin K2, because that takes calcium out of your blood vessels and puts it into your bones where it belongs. Taking a calcium supplement will stay in your bloodstream. It won't go to your bones. I know it's still the #1 selling supplement of all time. Did you know that? I'm trying to change that, but it's still the #1 selling supplement of all time. What is that? Calcium. Because doctors see, when they see bones, in women especially, 99% really, it's 95 to 5. But guys, it's not that men couldn't get osteoporosis, but osteoporosis is a hormonal problem. It's not a calcium problem. It's a hormonal problem. And it's not estrogen. You got lots of estrogen, especially in this world that we live in. Xenoestrogens. Everything looks like estrogen to your body. It accumulates. What does that do? It slows the thyroid down. It slows the thyroid down. Your thyroid, which is a big part of your metabolism, won't work properly. So you need to hit these things. You have to fix the thyroid. You have to decrease your estrogen, dim it out. That's why in our hormonal formula and even in our menopausal formula, we use dim. You would think, oh, doctors say, well, you got to give estrogen. No, you don't. You want to balance these things. So really, really important. You know, these symptoms are no fun at all. But if you're getting these things, look, menopause is normal, by the way. But normal is no symptoms, really. I mean, obviously, if everything's balanced, estrogen and progesterone are going to come down. You're not going to have babies anymore. And your estrogen is coming down, but not compared to progesterone. That's the key, is to understand that. Okay? So, some of the things that you can do, like, that's why the reset is good too, because the reset, see, a lot of your hormones, guys, depend on cholesterol. Cholesterol is part of the equation. You can't make hormones without cholesterol. You need vitamin D for hormones. Vitamin D is a hormone, really. It's not really a vitamin. It's a hormone. And sometimes this week, I think we're going to talk about, there's some, a good brand new study out, incredible, on the effects of vitamin D. So, these menopausal symptoms, it's really important. Now, one of the things that helps too, is exercise. Exercise. Elevate your nitric oxide. Get moving. Vitamin E. That helps a lot. Well, it helps with osteoporosis. I don't aim at the bones. I aim at the muscles. You aim at the muscle. The stronger you are, ladies, the stronger your bones are. Those muscles attach to bones. And if you got strong muscles, your bones got to build those attachments to be strong. So that's why it's really, really important. Keep your minerals up, ladies. It's important. Keep your minerals, your salts. Your salts. Don't eat salt-free. Don't blame salt for what sugar did. They got it upside down. It's not right. You need salt. Even for your hormones. You need salt. I talked to you about vitamin D, vitamin K2. And when you lose magnesium and potassium, you lose calcium. I want you to eat your calcium. Don't take it as a supplement. You know where you get a lot of calcium? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Yeah. The highest sources. You know, people have asked me about the reset. Why do you have dairy in there? Because dairy's got a bad name now. Now, I'm not a milk guy. You know that. As a matter of fact, you want to get osteoporosis? Drink grocery store milk. You know, I know the dairy industry, and I'm their friend, by the way. You know, I'm their friend. But the dairy industry, when they have, had a mustache there for drinking milk, yeah, if you got a cow in your backyard. But not the grocery store milk. It's very acidic. It's all full of sugar. It doesn't have any fat. It's not milk, really. It's white Pepsi. It's white Pepsi. So really, really important to understand that. And remember the effect of estrogen, that what it has on the thyroid gland. It slows the thyroid down. And a lot of people, and this is why the reset is so good, okay? Another reason is because you're emptying your liver. You're emptying your liver. Your liver is a filter. Your liver is a detox. Your liver is like Velcro. Okay? And as impurities, like too much estrogen or whatever comes through the bloodstream, your liver pulls it away. But not if it's full of fat. Your liver can't do the job of detoxing. Your conversion, ladies, of T4 to T3. You need to have an empty liver for that to happen. And T3 is what makes your thyroid work properly. You know, and I know thyroid hormones are T4 hormone, T4s, like levothyroxine. They're T4s, but it's T3 you need, and that conversion takes place in the liver. And when the thyroid's not working properly, you're going to gain weight. Your hair. Ladies, sometimes with that imbalance, like I said, it can start at an early age. You have hair loss and very thinning hair. Fix hormones. Fix hormones. It's not like you're missing, ladies, Rogaine. You're not missing Rogaine. If you've got thinning hair, it's an imbalance. And you have to touch it all, man. You got to balance that thyroid out. You got to get the thyroid firing on all cylinders. The orchestra leader is the thyroid. It needs to work properly. And like I say, you got to dim that estrogen. Otherwise, your thyroid won't work properly. You won't get the conversion of T4 to T3. So some of the symptoms, these weren't marked down on menopause, like in terms of these are more conditions. Hair loss. I've seen it hundreds of, not hundreds, thousands of times over the years. Nails. Skin, very dry skin. It's a hormonal imbalance. Got to fix. Hormones. They really are for a lot of women. And again, it's not like it never happened. Hormones have been around since the beginning of time. But we live in a different world today. We live in an estrogen-dominated world. And that affects you, ladies. It affects men too, but especially women because of that connection to their thyroid gland. So you gotta, okay, let me recap. You gotta fix the liver. Empty the liver out. How do you empty the liver out? With food. Sugar is going to be stored as fat in your liver. Carbs are going to be stored as fat in your liver. Empty the liver, food-wise. Eat lots of calcium. Eat your calcium, not supplement with calcium. Because you see how nature does it? See how God does it? When you're having a piece of cheese, you're getting calcium. Yes, with K2. Not K1, K2. What's K2 do? Well, when you're eating your calcium, everybody knows that about cheese, right? Or butter. That's your way of building bone. Because you're getting your calcium, but it's being put into your bones where it belongs. Because of vitamin K2. Isn't that important? But it's right in nature. That's why when people tell me, oh, doc, I don't eat dairy, that's no good for you. Yes, it is good for you. It's very good for you. You need butter. Ladies, you need butter. Just don't put it on bread. How many people have asked me that? What do I do with butter? Eat it. Cook with it. Put it on top of your steak. Cheese. Now look, if you have an allergy to cheese, but very few people do, you know. They have this thing about dairy and they think it's, I said, well, what do you mean dairy? Well, if I have ice cream, well, don't eat ice cream. Can you get away with cream? Cheese? Yeah, oh yeah, cheese is all right, but okay. Like, don't blame the cheese. When pizza bugs you. Now, some people can't eat cheese. I get it, okay? I mean, you know that. If you can't, if it bothers you, you can't break down the casein. Okay, I understand that. But I'm really big on the diet. Ladies, reset. Empty that liver. It's amazing what happens to your hormones when the liver is emptied. Your body's unbelievable. It's fearfully, wonderfully made. It's able to do a lot of things. It's got tremendous restorative capabilities. Okay. One of the things on osteoporosis too, I just want to mention this in closing. If you're on a high blood pressure medication, a lot of people are on diuretics. And that really throws off the bones because diuretics, you excrete your magnesium and potassium. And your bones need that. Your bones need minerals. I love Himalayan salt for that. 84 minerals in Himalayan salt. Okay. Enough pontificating for this morning. Now, Wednesday, we are doing, Junior and I are doing a webinar on how to battle-proof your lungs. But you'll find it interesting. It's going to be very, very good teaching on lungs. You want to protect your lungs. People that had COVID found out if they ever got sick from it, went in their lungs. It was dangerous for that. So we're going to talk about lungs, how to protect yourself. Keep them. You need your lungs. Still the number one cancer today. Number one killer, cancer. It's lung cancer. Amazing. We'll talk about that. Why is that so? So sign up for that. Sign up for the webinar coming Wednesday night. Okay? I think it's 7 p.m. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay. Love you guys. If you're not part of our Martin Clinic Facebook group, invite your friends. Sign up. Tremendous group. Friday, of course, it's early, but we're talking about it. Get your questions ready for question and answer Friday. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.